Okay, this is what we're going to talk about today. This is a Rye Stout, and I've been wanting to make one of these for quite a while. And as ever, stouts, I never get around to making them, but it's been done, and I'm going to do a couple of versions of this. And we're going to bottom out this recipe. So I took some footage of the brew day video. You can go and have a look at that now, and I'll be back here. You can meet me back here afterwards. How about that? Get to brew day. Just getting everything ready. Look. The last brew day then we did in 3 hours, 2 hours 58 minutes, including all the kind of cleaning up afterwards. So we are going to be aiming for that again. And let's get it started. Let's get it started. Right. So today we're doing a stout, a Rye Stout. It is, so the reason I'm doing a stout is this is the much threatened stout that I've been threatening to do for years and I just haven't bothered. I tend to do imperial stouts and I'll do porters, but I don't really do proper stouts, even though I always buy stuff to do stouts. I never get around to doing them. I end up using all the ingredients for the imperial stouts. But there's like an issue with our water, our drinking water tonight. There's like a green algae problem. Loch Ness is the big loch over there. Fresh water, and it's got this kind of, I think it's from like farmers using too much slurry or something, I don't know. Too much fertilizer or whatever it is. And it's all running into the water and it's causing some kind of algae problem. And it makes the water taste not very nice. And you can smell it as it's coming out of the top. So this is the second year in a row this has happened. And it's only ever happens about this time of the year, about September. It seems to be fine all the way through. But for whatever reason, for maybe 3, 4, 5 weeks around this time, it's really weird. So I didn't want to use any of that stuff for brewing, even though I could use use the filter. I don't know if the filter will take it all out. I'll maybe test that. I pulled off some water yesterday to try, so we can maybe have a taste of that later on to see if I can taste it. So I didn't want to mess about and do a beer that's going to end up getting chucked out. There's nothing wrong with it. So I thought, oh, we'll do a stout, because if any beer will hide the flavour, it will be a stout for sure. And then we're doing a Rye Stout. I hadn't actually intended to do a Rye Stout, but I bought like 500 grams of chocolate rye for whatever reason. Don't remember buying it, but I must have intended to do a stout, or why would I have bought the chocolate rye unless it was going to do like a black IPA or something like that. But so yeah, we're on then for a stout, a Rye Stout. So we've got like 3 kilos of Golden Promise in here. There's the 500 grams of chocolate rye. We've got another 250 grams of just standard rye as well, because I like to hit around 750 to 800 grams when I'm using rye. A good whack of it in there. I've actually put flake barley in as well. I wasn't sure whether to do it, whether I need to put flake barley in if I'm putting all the rye in, but we've done it anyway because we've got a little bit. And then the last thing we've got in is roast barley. Obviously roast barley, yeah, it's a stout, isn't it? So, and there's about 400 grams of that on there. And that is it. So I also remember to put in a few handfuls of like oat husks as well too, because this, if ever it's gonna stick, all that flake barley and rye in there, this is the time. So let's just toss the whole thing in. I have to say, I think it feels a bit looser than normal, that mash. I hope I've got my volumes right. There's about 20 litres, 19.5 litres of water in there for all that grain, so let's hope so. So again, with this thing, I'm going to be giving it a stir coming out here maybe every 5-10 minutes, just to make sure to give that a stir, make sure everything's going okay, and all that. Okay, we're 6 minutes in now. Okay, sparge is started already. I just basically had all the water sitting there and then just flicking the switch, turned on. That's all I had to do, so that will be ready by the time this is done. Smell that? Whoa. Stouty. It's smelling stouty. Let's give it a wee last minute stir. Right, let's get it up. In fact, let's get the... Yep. Get the boil started. I'm still persistent with doing the sparge too, because it does take a little while for that to get up to boil, so I'm sparging fairly quickly as well. So I'm not really losing that much time, I don't think, by doing it. And pop on. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're boiling. That to me looks about 10:37 or 10:38 maybe. This is the pre-boil. That is under what we should be. So that's the first. So I don't know, maybe all that special grain or something in there has done that, but we'll see what is it actually. Original gravity is supposed to be 10:45, so I think it's unlikely we're going to get that. So we'll play it by ear. If we need to throw a bit of malt extract in, we can. But yeah, maybe that's something with stouts. Needs an extra bit of time to mash. Who knows? All learning curve. That's our Pride of Ringwood, by the way. Like 40 grams. It's really old though. I know hops lose their kind of punch as they get older, so I don't actually know what the proper AAs are, so I'm just dumping in 40. I only ever use it for stouts. I use it for the imperial stouts. Always turns out well. So time check, we're full, never behind, but then again, we just started the boil and it's an hour and 20 minutes, so that's not that bad. Okay, we're done and dusted. I still have the pot to clean and we're looking at 2:38. I'm a little bit behind because well, you know, a few things. I took the gravity reading at the end, so our pre-boil is a little short. Took the gravity reading at the end and it was about 10:40, 10:41 maybe. So I added a bit of 250 grams of spray malt. I've got another gravity reading here. And that looks like 10:48. So, so it's a little bit above what it should be, but it's got all that special grain and stuff in there, and the rye and the flake barley, so I'm not expecting. I think the recipe gives it to finish low, but it's not going to. Like I mashed at 65 as well too. So we'll see. And the reason it's going so low is because it's plugged in to use this yeast here, which is supposedly, it doesn't say the attenuation on it, but I think Brewfather was showing this as like 80%. 80%? I don't know. So Fermo Ale AY3, it's just a very, it rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Don't know what this is. Just says dry yeast suitable for a production of British and American ales, and the description makes me think it's something like Nottingham, so that's what we're going to use. In terms of the volume then as well too, we've got, it's, I can see just above, it's like the 6 gallon mark, so I'm presuming that's US gallons, because Imperial would be like 27 litres or something like that, but it's not that much, so it's going to be about, that's about 22 and a half maybe, something like that, if memory serves. I shall check it out now. So 22 and a half litres, which is slightly up. We're in the stainless steel fermenter this time as well too. just for a change. And that's it. So that's gonna sit in here until I get everything cleaned up. I've still got a beer in that fridge down there, so I'll need to get that transferred to the keg later on. So that can sit there for the time being. Not doing any harm. A little bit of kitchen roll in the top there just to stop any kind of flies or creepy crawlies from getting in there. Yeah, that's it. So, in fact, let's get a little taste of this first, shall we? See if we can taste that rye. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we can definitely taste it. Okay, good stuff. I'm gonna get cleaned up, alright? It's dark, it's black, it's stout. You can just about see the tan little cap on it. It's good, nice small bubbles. That head is gonna stick about. I mean, we've got the rye in there. I think I put, hold on, let me see. Flake barley, yes, okay. So the recipe, just to remind me more than you, because you just watched the brew video. 3 kilos Golden Promise, that's what, 66%. 11% chocolate rye. There is 5.5% of normal rye malt. There is 8.8% flake barley, and the rest is roast barley, classic stout roast barley. So that's our grain bill. The hops were Pride of Ringwood, those really old Pride of Ringwood hops. And then it was Nottingham, wasn't it? Or it was the Fermo Wheel R2D2. I can't remember what the thing on the package was, but yeah, FY03 C3PO, something like that. Okay, sniff test. It's good. It smells a little bit chocolatey actually. Definite. A little bit of the roast as well, but quite a lot of chocolate, which is a surprise. But it smells like a stout. Okay, we're going straight in the Guinness class as well too. I'm nothing if not professional. Just hide the logo. Okay, let me get another one. I mean, look at the lace. No, not just as I was going in for a second drop. I just caught it. Wow, look at that. Amazing. So this is, I think this is a couple of weeks in the keg now. It was incredibly harsh when I, after like the first week. You know, you're not really supposed to age stouts, I don't think. And it was quite harsh. And it definitely needed time to sell. Really want to say it's calmly flipped down. But yeah, 30 days, wow. 30 days condition, so 4 weeks now in the keg. And it's definitely calmed down a little bit. It was quite stringent and bitter, and I think just a combination of everything. The dark malts, the rye, the lot. And it did need time just to calm that a bit down. It is, let me see. Finished at 10.14 as well, so it's 4.5%. The mouthfeel does feel silky from those oats, flaked oats, or the flake barley rather. About a medium body maybe. I think that silky mouthfeel is hiding the fact that it's not a really big body, so I'm surprised at that, because I would have thought with all that rye is definitely a bodybuilder as well. Flake barley, I mean, that should be, for me, that should be a little bit bigger, I think. Mouthfeel. This is stuff we're all going to work out for version 2. So I think we will up the flake barley, or maybe skip the flake barley and go to oats. I'm thinking out loud now. as we're going. 400 grams flake barley. And the taste is more of the roast than the chocolate. The chocolate's like right on the end after it goes down, and you get the taste left in your mouth, and it's kind of a little bit bitter from the roast barley, and but there's this definite chocolate hint to it. So that's quite nice. The rye is definitely there. It's, I don't know, I think maybe combining the two different sets of rye has maybe pushed it over the edge or something like that, or maybe it's not quite right. So we put in the chocolate rye, and then we topped it up with half as much of normal rye malt. And I think I prefer the chocolate rye. I really quite like that. And that was just bought on a whim, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I think if I was doing it again, we would maybe do all chocolate rye and skip the normal. It's not quite as clear as it would be in like an IPA, something like that. And it seems to be enhancing the roast kind of character as well. So this is all stuff to work on for version 2 now. Hops are not really, I know the hops are not necessarily important, but I think for me and my taste, I would like a little bit of something in there. Maybe a little orange note or something. You could put in some Centennial or an American hop anyway. A big aggressive American hop. Not to dominate, but just to be more kind of prominent. So yeah, this is one of the beers that it gets better the more you drink it in one night. And maybe that's because it tastes really good at the end of the night, but maybe that's because you're drunk or something. But it's kind of one of them. It's not perfect. It's not bad, but yeah, it needs work. Definitely needs work. We want to bring out some more flavors. But I think the main thing is, though, that I'm getting is just the burnt malt, but is something a little bit more than that. It's not just roast barley I'm tasting. There's a little bit of kind of like bitterness or something like that, and maybe it's the combination of that and the rye malt and the hops, and maybe I should use more fresh hops that are a little bit more fruity. I'll go for a little chocolate orange type of flavor to come in. But I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's an okay first attempt. There is going to be a second version, so I've already planned what I'm going to do now. So I've got 2 lagers in here at the minute. The one on this side is going to be finished by next week. I'm going to be brewing next week. I'm going to do a bitter, and then I'm going to do the stout, another stout after that. Now, whether I'm going to do another version of this or just like a normal kind of stout, I'm not sure. As I've maybe said in the brew video, my history with stouts is just a bit up and down, and that I've never really consistently made a good stout that I'm happy with, that I'm completely happy with, whereas I've made pretty much all the other types of beer, and I'm fairly confident. But stouts, yeah, I mean, I made porters that I'm happy with, so, but that porter's not a stout. Now, what I will say is that the bitter that I'm going to do next is going to be using this one here, okay? Because I've seen this in the keezer. 1469. So I've made bitters with that before, and they've been excellent. So I'm going to use that, and then I'm thinking now I could maybe use that. We'll get a couple of brews out of it, and we shall do a stout with it as well too. This is the West Yorkshire ale yeast, by the way. And yeah, I think that would work pretty well, and that's why I'm thinking then, should I just do like a normal stout if I'm using that, or will I go the whole hog and use it for the rye stout? Not sure. But yeah, that is it. So I shall see you on the next video, whenever that is, and I'll just say goodbye. So cheers, happy Homebrew Wednesday. Okay, handle. One of these days, I'll have everything sitting ready to go. It's just not today.